baby. Tiny sweetie. Kitty baby. Let me turn on the heat blanket for you. Boop, boop. There you go. Ready. Hi, Shadow. Nice and cozy. Just the way I like it. I am doing good and just sitting around lurking. As is tradition for you, Shadow. As is tradition. But if that makes you feel comfortable and happy, that is your prerogative. Good to see it. Took a break yesterday because just needed to recharge for the mental health. Oh, that was wild. Hey, Shadow. We have too many shadows. Some of you should change your names. I'm thinking Strawberry for some of you. Just take the whole Dragon Ball Z abridged. We name every minion or like side character a fucking fruit. We need more shadows. Guys, if we have any more shadows in here, we will literally not be able to see. Like, guys, we can't just keep casting Veil of Darkness and hoping for the best. Like, we gotta see some things here, people. Come on. Listen, I rule the Shadow Realm. So you rule the 4Kids dimension? What the fuck? Listen, if you want to rule the 4Kids dimension, that is your prerogative, not mine. No, I rule the realm between existence and the warp. That's the webway! And you don't rule that. The fucking clowns rule it. Clowns! Clowns, brother! Clowns! Brother! The clowns. No, it's the Shadow Realm. Then it's the webway. No, it's not how that works! Ah! My OC's a demon and a dragon slayer. You know there's a class, you know there's a race called Tiefling, right? Yes, it is. Hold on. I'm going to look this up right now. 40k Shadow Realm. The Shadow Realm is in the warp, you fucking animal. Hello? Yes, I'm streaming right now. No, I was in a call. No, no. And the interview isn't till tomorrow, Thursday. I told you that. It got moved. It got moved to tomorrow at 11 for me. Oh my god, Shadow, you don't know what a tiefling is? Babe, I gotta go. I gotta cuss out a person. Love you. Bye. Shadow, have you never played fucking D&D? Have you never touched a rulebook of D&D? Yes, there is a race called Tieflings. They're half mortal creatures, half demon spawn. There's different flavors of them too. It's perfect for your little edge boy needs. They're usually the outcasts and the most hated people in all of D&D. Until stuff happened, but don't worry about it. It's called your daddy or mommy stuck it in the wrong hole. No, they stuck it in the right hole. It's just a matter of what demon did they summon? And why do you exist? You caught on to what I said. Hi, Kosek! Well, now I have a few classes to try if I can ever try D&D. Just don't be a bad player and you'll be fine. Pathfinder makes Tiefling a sub-rate. I am streaming. What is going on, my dude? You can barge into the fucking stream. It's not like you haven't done it before. Alright. Well, talk to you later. Bye. Everyone keeps calling me! It's just the bathroom for me all over again. I go to the bathroom. Everyone calls me while I'm in the bathroom or when I'm doing something. I'm working right now. I get called while I'm working. I'll call you maybe. No. Human fighter, bard, necronope, fighter-man, does whatever a fighter can. There he is. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. He's just a fighter man. Here comes the fighter man. I make joke about early 2000s song, lol. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy. Can you stop coming to my house? You're freaking me the fuck out. No, don't call me maybe. That's scary. My gnome wizard name is Steve. Don't call him short. Though he may be missing a few centimeters, he is quite a powerful wizard. Though he does not come up to the length of an armchair, he is quite the impressive intellectual. And though he has trouble reaching the spice cupboard, he himself is quite the spicy meatball. There, I didn't call him short, but I did call him small. The tiefling being a sub-race for everyone also applies to Avzamar, Shifters, and Genessa. Genesi. I can't say it. I'm stupid. I now must make an orc tiefling combo whose mom has a demon on a leash. They had to grow up watching their dad be your mom's pet. Gentlemen, are you so down bad that you had to be leashed? Not kink shaming here, but damn! We do not kink shame in this household unless it is absolutely fucking disgusting. I'm a fucking creature, dude. Trauma! Mom, can Dad come off the leash? No, he's been very bad. We gotta keep him on it. I caught him pissing in our neighbor Allison's yard. Oh, there he goes again. Get on the leash, you fucking hell! We're also gonna get 2 new elemental planes, woods, and metal. If D&D doesn't go fucking tits up, but I do. We've already got 2 other competitors coming out of the ring. 2 people coming out and saying, I am making my own thing. And they're either going to be good, they're either going to become like the next Pathfinder, or they're going to be absolute fucking scams, dude. I am ready for this shit fest. Let's fucking go. My tabletop community so it falls apart. There's nothing I can do about it. Woo! Everything's on fire and I don't know how to fix it. Yeah! Let's go! Well, the trans is pretty cool, dude. Pretty cool. Hi, Sarah. Chat. It is time. There's the Sarah baby. There she is. Enjoying her life as the laziest cat in the world. She does nothing. She sits there all day, does nothing. But boss, don't you know fire solves everything? Shadow! Fire does not solve everything. If everything is on fire! That is essentially like, hey guys, you know what will solve this problem that's very complicated and very nuanced? What? A fucking frag grenade! Chink. Yes! The thermal detonator does solve immediate problems, i.e. ending the lives of a few people, but then it leaves so many other problems. Like, for starters, there is now 4 dead people. And from there, we go down the list of from people to structure. A grenade going off inside a house is not a good thing. What the fuck are you talking about? The person you close to be hit with fireball. Making a nuke and calling it a problem solver 900. The nuke is the ultimate fuck you button. My god, I got bad cotton mouth. So, I said we were going to talk about the tabletop community today. Oh boy, let's get into it. What is going on in the tabletop community? Why is it shit? Why do people leave it? Why is it so hostile to minorities and people that do not subscribe to the white man with titty, with man boobie, with the moobs, or the fucking people that shape themselves bald and worship a certain loser who was bullied by the Allies into painting his last piece with his brains. Okay, so I am interviewing AdMech Girl tomorrow at 11. And there's a reason why I'm doing it. Not just because she's a very interesting person and I would love to talk to her. It's to set the example. We as a tabletop community have very much been insulated for a long time. And we have always been the rejects, the bullied, the people who have been removed from the normal grace of society. And we had our own space, but instead of being the arbitrators, instead of being the arbiters of a community that welcomes all, that welcomes everybody, no matter where they come from, no matter who they are, the nerd community became insulated. It basically edged itself. It became prickly. That you aren't a true nerd if you aren't these things. And these groups with ulterior motives, with intent to harm, they focus on people like us, people who are hurt, who are downtrodden, who have very little friends, very little self-confidence. Those groups being those of the Nazis and other groups like Nazis target people like us because they see us as easy, because we're the downtrodden. It's very easy for them to come in as a helping hand. That's the insidious part of it. They come in shaking you with one hand and then corrupting you with the other. And it leads you down paths of thinking everybody outside your community is an enemy, that they shouldn't be here. Any changes that they bring in is hostile. Like, for example, girls coming into the space. They're treated like shit. Girls are actively treated like shit in nerd communities. And a lot of them leave these nerd communities. We had Rey and Rose in Star Wars. They were treated like shit. Yeah, because their characters were not written very well. But then it became attacking them because they're women. It became attacking them for who they physically were. And that is what these communities continue to do. And at no point am I accusing any of us directly. If you know you haven't done it, then you don't have to worry. You know who you are, and you know that you support you know that you support everybody. You don't have to go around parading it. You don't have to go around grandstanding it. But if I say sexist pieces of shit are kicking people out, are like forcing people out, and you feel a twinge of anger at me when I say that, gotta look at yourself for a second. And we also have literal fucking children in our communities. And I'm not talking about like actual kids. I'm talking about men who never I'm talking about individuals who never learned how to grow the fuck up. Who don't know how to accept a loss. Who come to ruin the game for everybody if they can't have their way. Many people in the community where I live in now, they stopped playing the game because it became too much of a frat house, as some of them put it. It was too much of a it was too much of a problem that these people would act like fucking assholes during regular games. That they're just like, nope, I'm not doing this. They came and brought a copied tournament list just to crush me, and I'm not interested in playing that. But the second you beat them, they get pissy at you. They get pissy. And they start insulting you and attacking you. Or, as Admech Girl put it, there's people who just blatantly cheat. And the judge community for tabletop games, there are good judges. There are very nice judges. But a lot of them, an unhealthy amount of them, are shit. A lot of them are shit. They don't do their job. It's just an excuse to get paid and just sit there and do nothing. Or they don't have a spine and they don't want to cause a scene. Even though this player is cheating, kick them the fuck out. It's no surprise why Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Warhammer 40k have these reputations for being sexist communities. There are female players. There are people who play these games that are not straight white men. But they're so small because the people that have toughed it out, they toughed it out of spite. They don't genuinely enjoy being here because they don't have people to genuinely enjoy the game with. There's the people that they do this, play the game out of spite against, but then after that spite is gone, they just leave and move on to better things. Which is fair. I don't blame them. But as well, we as a community need to do better. It's not just calling it out. It's actively applying it. If you see somebody being sexist or racist or homophobic or transphobic or what the fuck ever in your community, you stand up to them. You tell them to fuck off. A community is better when we do not discriminate against people for just who they are. A community is 1,000 times better when we let everyone in and keep those who want to keep others out. And it takes on many forms. We don't want people who gatekeep. We don't want people who are racist or anything else in these communities. It's really fucking sad, though, seeing people who I thought enjoyed the hobby leave, but I understand why, because you can only handle so much of it before you need to just take a step away from it all. I nearly quit 40k myself. I nearly quit Warhammer. Because I was sick of this toxic competitive air in my town. There is no place that I can find where I can play Warhammer in a friendly match where I just take a fucking wrecking ball of orcs and just go ham. My town is filled with a competitive edge where they're not going in to have fun, they're going in expecting to win, and that is their fun. Which there's nothing wrong with having fun with winning. There's nothing wrong with having fun and winning. There's a problem when you expect it. When you expect that the only way to have fun with this game is to win. That is the wrong way to have fun. It's fun to win. It feels good when you win. However, if you go into a game thinking that you're going to win, and that you get pissy when you don't, instead of accepting, okay, I lost, still fun, and I got to learn. That's a healthier subject, instead of being, fuck you, I win. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is starting to become like that too a bit. The one where you're going in expecting to win. It's not just it's been a problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not started, it's always been there. It's been a thing in the tabletop community for years. And it's the problem with competitive. You need every fucking edge. And it's frustrating when you don't win, but there are people who just can't accept it. Toxic players are the problem. A toxic community kills any game. Just like how the Voltron community nearly killed Voltron. Just like how so many other toxic communities nearly killed their communities. Like the Brony fandom is dead. It's dead. Because toxic pieces of shit killed it for everybody. That community is dead because it was full of actual Nazis, actual pedophiles, so on and so forth. That community is dead. It is never coming back. And Voltron's dead because Voltron was Voltron, anyway. Not my neck of the woods. Maybe I could have Laura Bear come on here and talk about the absolute fucking disgrace that is DreamWorks animated projects on Netflix. Whoo boy! Anyway. I saw one commenter on my TikTok from the other day say we shouldn't have let some Norwegian asshole be the lore guy of Warhammer YouTube. And I agree. I agree with that statement. A lot of people's misconceptions and misunderstandings of the Warhammer lore, who the Imperium is, who all this stuff is, and has let a racist, sexist, homophobic, and transphobic groups roam rampant thanks to his sponsoring and his growth, is Arch Warhammer. And individuals like him. These toxic pieces of shit all came from him. And that's a problem. Now, we're slowly taking that away because he stopped doing 40K content because he's a little bitch. He stopped doing it, as far as I'm aware. And after rewatching some of his videos, he really didn't fucking understand anything about what Warhammer was or who or what anything was, honestly. And it's really scummy and disgusting, a lot of the stuff that he said and did. And just continues to run away and hide from. Or just doesn't care. Doesn't care. And just these people being hostile to inclusive ideas. Warhammer, whether they fucking like it or not, has hit the mainstream. Warhammer is in the public consciousness now. It's no longer this game in the back that is for fucking idiots in the back to just enjoy. No, now every idiot can enjoy it. And they don't like that. They don't like that it's better to be inclusive than it is to be exclusive. They prefer to be toxic pieces of shit and continue to swing around the barrel, never improving, never changing, nothing, instead of letting everyone else in, who have their own ideas, who have their own things that they want to see. And they don't like that 40K has changed. They hate it. And good. Fuck them. If your only complaint about the change is that they put a woman on the front cover, or that a woman is a prominent character, or that a person of color is a space marine, or if the Magic community stood up with a cosplayer because she was sick and tired of the sexist treatment that she was getting, that says more about you than it does about us. Today's stream is going to be really slow, but I don't care. I want to talk. So, an update actually, though, with Warhammer. The first book of the Ark of Omens is out. Well, it's coming out soon. And it is a doozy, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary pals. It is a fucking doozy. The architect of this this new campaign is Vastor, the Archifane. He is the literal god of the Soulforge. And people are like, wait, he's a god? I thought there were like only 4 or 5 Chaos gods. He's a demigod, actually. He is attempting, though, to become the next god of chaos. And he has struck up a deal with Abaddon. Now, I want to get this book. I want to get all of these books, so that way I can fill you guys in on what's going on in the lore. I'm not going to spoil anything yet, because even I don't know everything. But it is interesting, because now we're not focusing on a massive table, we're focusing on boarding actions. We're focusing on infantry-only games, which is actually interesting. We are no longer, there's no tanks. There's none. No tanks. Only infantry, as far as I'm aware. And this is corridor fighting. It's like when the droids, board ships in Star Wars, and the clones and the droids are fighting each other in the hallways of Venator Star Destroyers. Or, the other way around, clones fighting droids inside ships. Or rebels fighting stormtroopers. That is an interesting take on the 40k gameplay. I'm very interested to see how this works out. I think they might be doing a thing where they heavily focus on more skirmish-based battles rather than epic ones. I wonder how this will change the lore. 40k either tends to swing one of two ways. It either doesn't change the status quo at all, or it changes the status quo on a ridiculous level. Because the last time we had a major change to status quo was 8th edition. And then 8th edition came and went, and we moved on to 9th. Which that can be summed up as, oh boy, power creep. Oh boy, I can't wait for the next Codex army to fucking trash competitive for a couple of weeks. And then watch as that army fades into obscurity again. Woo! Good times. GW usually likes to keep the status quo. That, the Imperium the Imperium triumphs, but just barely, and that, the endless war continues on. No faction really gets anything out of the situation aside from, small gains, unless, they're planning down the road for something. Because, GW doesn't believe in retcons, they just believe in adding information. Abaddon. None of his stuff is a retcon. It's just lore that's elaborated on. And then having to remember, oh wait, all of my codexes are written like fucking propaganda. All my books are written like fucking propaganda. So what does that mean? 40K has never had a situation where they can just go, retcon it, fuck it. So GW have the same position as the Chaos Gods. Yep. If it's not relevant, you don't bring it up. When it becomes relevant, you bring it up. Like, for the longest time. I thought Vanguard lore was crazy. You can keep bringing it up, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, so, actually, the best source of information on this is the Horus Heresy. So, like, when they talked about Horus Heresy, you want to know what Horus Heresy was? Horus Heresy was a blurb. It was just a paragraph. And then it moved on. In the first edition of Warhammer, Rogue Trader, the Horus Heresy was a blurb. It didn't even refer to the Emperor and Horus being father and son. It just referred to the Emperor's greatest general, Horus, betrayed him. And then second edition went into it, and that the Emperor teleported into Horus's bunker and slew him. And then it changed, then the lore changed again. But it was being written as if, like, the lore was being updated, because, like, oh, I found something. In that context. Brings up that Horus was the Emperor's favorite son. Still did the teleport bunker thing. And then in 4th edition, it was changed to, oh wait, it wasn't his bunker, it was Horus's flagship. So, like, and we're like, oh, so that's a retcon? And GW said, no, it's not a retcon. And we looked at them and said, I don't know, you changed it from he was on the ground and to now he's in space. Seems like a retcon. And they're like, you try sorting out all the history of the Imperium. And then we said, touche. Like, there were retcons in the game. You can't change the fact. Like, the Rainbow Warriors, the Flesh Terrors, they were original founding legions. And then they were changed. They were changed to the Iron Hands and the Ultramarines. So on and so forth. Changes happen. They always come. Advancing the lore, though, has always been a bitch. The major change to the lore, like I said, came in 8th edition with the fall of Cadia and the Ruin Storm campaign. Essentially, GW wanted to go back to square one, reinvent what Warhammer 40k was. I have heard about Kobold Press making their own game. I do not judge until it is out. So what was the Gathering Storm, essentially? Basically, it was GW finally going, fine, fuck it, this is a retcon. Because back then, how they did the 13th Black Crusade was that they had Team Imperial, Team Chaos. Team Chaos won all the ground engagements, Team Imperial won all the space engagements. And it was just a stalemate, no one enjoyed anything, it was boring. And then GW said, fuck it! We're changing it! We're changing it! We're retconning these things! We're retconning the 13th Black Crusade. Fuck you! Essentially, Cadia got its ass handed to it, but managed to hold out. And then Abaddon, being a salty motherfucker, took his Blackstone Fortress that he got from the 12th Black Crusade, slapped some engines on it, and crashed it into Cadia. Along with a bunch of brand new characters being introduced, such as Inquisitor Greyfax, the new Saint Celestine, and Belisarius Call. And everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's just the guy who's going to revive Gulliman.
I heard Warhammer names. I heard Warhammer.
He scared the fuck out of me.
I heard Warhammer.
Yeah, we were talking about like how GW finally went fuck it retcon with 8th edition.
Yeah, the entirety of 8th edition just kind of got swept under the rug.
No, like I'm talking about like how they retconned the 13th Black Crusade so that way we could get to 8th edition.
Why? Oh, yeah, and then
yeah,
it basically
like
happened again.
Yeah, and then we're just like, yeah. Oh, they're calling you the nostalgia critic.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is new?
Fucking oof. But Sarah is just hanging out under you now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been like a fucking week.
For her, that's a while.
She
Hello,
counted
my
in
baby.
cat years.
Exactly, which means I was gone forever.
Hello, my small baby.
Boss, are you good? You're like far leaning. You spooked the fuck out of me.
I did just kind of burst through the man's door and yell Warhammer.
He did. I knew he was coming, but like he said, I'm just gonna grab my paint stuff and go. I'm like, okay. And
That
then,
was the plan, and then I heard you talking about 40k, so I'm like, I'm gonna chime in. Especially
Yeah.
because on the way here, because I'm looking into Iron Hands, I'm like, oh, I'll listen to their audiobooks, see if I like them. I have never become so attached to a Legion so quickly.
wow, the man with
No.
the man with emotional issues joins the chapter of emotional
No,
issues.
but here's the thing. Everyone thinks they have emotional issues, and then you listen to their audiobook and you're like, this is probably the most well-balanced Legion of them all.
They're not.
Dude, okay, no.
I've read their books.
Hear me out. My favorite Marine interaction comes from Iron Hands. So it's two Iron Hands pilots. They're piloting Xiphons. And the one is like an ace pilot, but he's very rough on it. So he just gets out of a fight with another dude when his wing brother is like, you're being too hard on the craft. Do you know what you're doing? And he just goes, I am well versed in multiple aeronautica tactics. And to which the other Iron Hand says, yes, brother, but do you love her? What? I know you talk to your aircraft when no one is paying attention. Silence, I do not. Do you love her, brother? My affection is irrelevant, and my craft is agendered. A space marine replies, my affection is irrelevant, and my craft is agendered when he's asked if he loves his plane. I love Iron Hands. I love them so much. It's so sad what happens, because hearing, like, pre-heresy Emperor's Children interact with Iron Hands is, like, the best slice of life ever.
You have not lived until you have seen fucking Fulgrim have his petty diva tantrum in front of an Iron Hands captain.
Oh, I'm gonna love that. The Iron Hands.
You
captain
literally
just
just
kinda
read the
leaves
book
him outright.
Fulgrim. So basically, Fulgrim is helping Ferrus Manus and his legion track down a fleet of aliens and humans working together.
Mhm.
This is at this point like Fulgrim is like half corrupted and such.
Yeah, he's got the later blade ships going down.
Yeah, and he makes a very stupid decision of taking his personal fighter out for a fucking drive in the middle of a combat. And he's like, I'm gonna board the enemy ship, kill the enemy captain, and take the day.
Yeah,
Why am I
Fulgrim.
being pressed by the enemy capital ship? Why are they denying me my victory? And so Ferrus Manus has to take his fucking ship, protect Fulgrim's strike fighter. Fulgrim's strike fighter just goes underneath and crashes into the hangar. Fucking Star Wars Episode 3 style. He flips out of the ship and cuts down everybody in his way. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be the hero of the day. I'm gonna be such that... Why are the automated turrets destroyed? Why is the door blown open? Why is the first captain of the Iron Hands that little shit on the bridge?
Like,
And the guy just like finishes cutting off the captain's head, and he's just like, okay, that's done. Sees Fulgrim's like, the bridge is yours, my lord.
She's like, bridge is yours, my lord. I'm not gonna berate you, but we did this like an hour ago. Maybe if you weren't being a prissy bitch and actually brought a strike force with you, you could have taken it, but we had to save your ass. Here you go, Lord Fulgrim.
And he just, Fulgrim, he actually doesn't say that. He just...
No, but that's what he meant. He's an Iron Hands.
Oh, he's an Iron Hands. That's what... It's just funny, because it's just, he says that to Fulgrim. Fulgrim just turns on his heel and leaves.
Yeah.
He just leaves the party, and everyone's like, "Oh." And then after the battle, Fulgrim's like, "Yes, everyone, let's come celebrate on my ship." "Oh, why, thank you. This is such a nice offering that like you allowed us on your ship."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. "Yeah, well, your ship's like piece of shit. It wouldn't be very good to have a celebration on that."
We can have a celebration there, but you're like Mechanicus guys, and I have a nice ship.
Now, Ferris's point was,
Uh-huh.
"Why do you think my ship's fucked up right now, you asshole?"
Yeah, fair.
And he's like, "Why are you acting like such a prick?"
It's like, maybe because you just about got my flagship killed so that you could fucking try and 1v1 an army, you dipshit.
If you're wondering, though, guys, about the Iron Hands, when you read their Horus Heresy books, especially about, like, who they were as individuals, they are,
They fucking hate themselves, which seems to be a running theme with everything I love. They believe that the flesh from which we are born in is weak and only holds corruption because it can be corrupted. Therefore, machines are the most blessed form of existence because what is there to corrupt? It is just steel and oil.
Beyblade lore.
Iron Hands are Beyblades. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that a Primaris Blade Guard squad is not just a Beyblade. Even worse when we go pre-heresy and they have the fucking chain glaives. Tell me that whirling around with a chain glaive does not make you the world's most aggressive Beyblade.
I mean, where's the lie?
Pre-heresy captains are just very angry, roided up Beyblades.
Also, Shadow is asking, is it because you also hate yourself? Is that why you love them?
Okay, so that's a common question. And it doesn't help with the fact that I play Iron Warriors, Iron Hands, and Krieg. I don't
You
hate
like
myself,
a lot
but
of
I'm working
iron.
on it.
You like a lot of iron.
Dude, I was walking here and I'm like, the fact that there's an Iron Warriors Legion and an Iron Hands is like, maybe the two creators should have talked to each other and one could have picked Steel or something.
I mean, the Steel Hands would have been cool.
Steel Hands sounds cool. Even the Steel Warriors. Steel Warriors has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, but they don't steal themselves that well.
Well, remember, as Perturbo's sister said, iron can become incredibly brittle when improperly forged.
Ooh, spicy. But yeah, so to understand the Iron Hands, you have to understand their Primarch. Ferrus Manus was very much the man of, you make yourself into who you are.
He's a boomer.
He's boomer.
He's a boomer. He got born and fought a Necron overlord in the form of a snake, beat it so hard into submission that its living metal decided that Fulgrim's body was its body now, and just decided to vibe out on his hands. And
That's a way of saying I dumped a fucker in lava.
I said Fulgrim, I meant Ferrus Manus. Ferrus Manus just picks up a Necron, I can't remember the name.
It was
of
a
them.
tomb spider, it wasn't a god.
It wasn't a tomb spider, wasn't a god, it's the little Forge World thing.
Oh, the Canatech centipede or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, y'all are a bunch of nerds. The, what are they called? Carrion feeders from D&D?
I think so.
It's pretty much a mechanical carrion feeder is what he 1v1'd and drowned in magma until its own body decided, fuck this, I belong to your hands now.
You let her out. Yeah, and the thing about that is that gave Ferrus Manus a sense of a little bit of body dysmorphia.
Because part of his own body doesn't even belong to himself. And then instead of realizing that, like, weird, I got infected alien hands, he went, the infected alien hands are the only thing pure about me.
And I hate it. And then, where he hated his hands, his fucking legion began to worship him. It's like, you know what? We should be more like Dad. We should really be more like Dad. And when their dad was like, please don't. Please stop. This is terrible. Please stop. What's that? I can't hear you as I'm sawing my own arm off!
Oh, yeah. So, don't get me wrong. A lot of the chapters have fucked up indoctrination rites, and I still think that the Blood Angels probably have the worst one.
No, you do. You get to sleep for a year. I know. That's fucked up.
It sounds great when all you say is you get to sleep for a year. It sounds real bad when you say you get to sleep for a year in a puddle of your own blood, and should you make the mistake of waking up at any point, you automatically become frothingly insane and have to be put down.
Did you open your eyes? Eyes aspired. No.
Good, because otherwise we'd have to fucking kill ya. So basically, the angels just commit a little bit of self-harm and then pass out for a year. And if you have the poor grace to wake up during it, you just get killed.
I mean, is the Space Wolves any better? They just kind of drop you off naked in the middle of a tundra.
It is. Because here's the thing. It's about survival. And at least they're like, okay, you're a hardy young man. Here's some clothes. We're going to dead drop you in the middle of nowhere. Get back to town. That was literally like an old tradition in a lot of like European countries. Just like, yeah, go fuck off into the woods and come back. It's a right. The Australians do it. It's called a walkabout.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's just a thing that humans have done for a long time because you can. Again, Iron Hands and Blood Angels, kind of a brutal entry ritual. So, Iron Hands, here are your two options. You are now a successful neophyte. You've been initiated. You're going to be a brother now. So either you have to cut off your own left hand, or, as is more traditionally done, because that's seen as a weak way out, the planet that the Iron Hands are from is a volcanic one. So they have volcanoes. So your rite of initiation is to walk up to the volcano, find a magma flow, and stick your hand into it until your hand doesn't exist anymore. You have to sit there and wait until it burns off and cauterizes. Then you get a cool little mechanical one and you're in. And that's your first augmentation. Yes, exactly. You stick your hand into the spicy water and you pull out a prize.
The new name for magma is spicy water.
Can we call Magnus Spicius? Spicicus?
Spicicus.
Spicicus.
The spiciest of boys. God, the Ultramarines, like, when you look at all the Space Marine chapters, you then have to, like, start prioritizing, okay, which one is the least fucking insane? And I think the Ultramarines take the cake on that one, because they just kind of dump you on a jungle planet and call it a day. They give you weapons and shit. They're like, make your way to this checkpoint within 13 days. And they're like, this has one magazine and a knife. Yes! Rely on the knife. Bye.
You've got a magazine in 13 days. What else do you need, kid?
Yeah, what else do you need?
You want to be a Space Marine? You better get there. You got 13 days. We gave you a gun and a magazine and a knife. Figure it the fuck out.
Oh, and if you see a giant horned monster, try and take it down.
Its name is Craig. If you can take Craig's tooth, I'll give you $5.
You can take Craig's tooth. Just imagine Shadow drink this stuff like a JoJo character. And people wonder why people don't want to live in the 40k universe.
Yeah, no, it's a bad time.
It's a bad time.
Oh, you know what else is one of my favorite initiation rituals?
What?
Fuck it, we're having a chat now. I'm calling the cab either way.
Okay.
So, now, Iron Hands, yeah, you gotta burn off a hand. Pretty insane. Blood Angels, you sit in a coffin of blood for a year. Space Wolves, you get dumped into the middle of the tundra and you gotta go find the Space Wolf HQ. Do you take teeth cards? No, I follow the Orc Central Bank. We only take direct currency.
Yeah, that is direct currency of punching the person in the face and taking what you can get. Please don't punch my face.
Give me your teeth.
No!
Give me your teeth.
No, we don't run on that currency in this town, and I hate it.
Okay, so, probably the most apeshit insane, makes no sense indoctrination ritual I know. The Black Templars.
Oh god.
So, you've got the Imperial Fists. They're good boys. They're very logical. They draw from Terra, so basically it's like pass your exams, do really well on the firing ranges, you're an Imperial Fist. Nothing too crazy. Along the line, they gained a first captain, which is kind of the equivalent of like a chapter master nowadays. And his name is Sigismund.
Oh god.
And Sigismund is kind of a creature.
Mind your
Yes, of
manners,
course, the overly fanatic
Sigismund.
individuals who make the salamanders want to wipe them out. It does not surprise me that the salamanders want the Black Templars eradicated. It makes complete sense. They're fuckheads, but I love them.
You need to learn patience, Sigismund.
Fuck. So yeah, they get Sigismund, and Sigismund, he does fuck up pretty bad at one point, but on the whole is a 10 out of 10 good boy.
Essentially, if you want me to describe his
I can use the fuck up real quick.
I just want to explain like what an Imperial Fist is compared to Sigismund. An Imperial Fist is just like he is the brick wall of people. He's always going to be blunt and straightforward with you. And he will continue to always be the individual that, like, he will never change. He's got a stick up his ass. And then there's Sigismund.
I am Sigismund, the upholding righteous fury of the Emperor! I shall charge down the heretic and slice them from whence they came! My father has upset me, and so I must unrighteously slay every single being within my path! For none who are unholy shall stand within my sight!
Yeah, and that's the difference. That's Sigismund. I tried to use this as a sword, and I broke it, and I think that's about the most accurate depiction of Sigismund ever.
I'm just sitting here like the Imperial Fist, like in the middle of a board meeting. So yes, as you can see, the fortress should be ready within.
The fortress is a piece of shit, my brother! You did not even think about firing lines! My entire group could charge in with their swords drawn and slit you in the throat, take your gene seed, and find better people to man the stations!
I'm sorry, I'm a little tense today. Dorn was upset with me.
It's kind of a wonder how someone like Sigismund became first captain.
Yeah, it makes no sense for Imperial Fists, but the dude was so fucking roided out that during the Siege of Terra, when everyone else who's there is having such a hard time trying to just defend the damn place, they're like, okay, Sigismund, here's a nice little crown and your new sword. Go fight every other first captain that shows up and anyone claiming to be in charge after him. And he fucking did by himself with no accompanying units or men. He just would show up in the back line and say, hey, for instance, World Eaters were there. Hey, Karn, fight me, bitch. And then he would 1v1 Karn and work his way on to the next one.
The only person to have known to beat Sigismund was the Night Lord's first captain, and he did that by cheating. And Sigismund, in response to the cheating, just laughed.
Yeah, because he understands. Sigismund was one of the realest motherfuckers. Sevatar cheated to beat him, and Sigismund, instead of being a petty bitch and going, you cheated, went, you know what, I didn't expect you to cheat and you're a Night Lord, that's on me.
You know what? I do, considering the fact that cheating is cringe and that is a cringe act. But the fact that I was cringe myself and not realizing that the Night Lord was going to be cringe, in fact, made it based. So...
Pretty much, yeah.
Hi, Galfrey. But yeah, the Black Templars are one of the chapters where...
Sorry, would you like to say that again?
Sorry, one of the legions.
No. This is obviously Gallifrey.
Oh, yeah. Greetings, programs, and users, boss.
Come on, man. It's Gallifrey.
It's Gallifrey?
Yeah,
Oh.
at least I'm assuming. That's a...
I said Gallifrey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Gallifrey. I'm sorry, this is me assuming because Gallifrey is the homeworld of the Time Lords from Doctor Who.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like acting surprised when the salamanders start burning everything.
It's like acting surprised when the salamander starts choking out an Eldar kid and asking when we can eat it.
Sorry, boss, he's right. No, don't apologize. I was in the wrong.
Also, like, I know, the man doesn't watch Doctor Who. But I see Gallifrey
You know
Doctor,
the cat
I
is
know
just
the
gonna scratch
reference.
my door.
Come here, baby.
But yeah,
Hello.
Vulcan was caught saying, "We will treat every species and every person with dignity and grace." Goleman then raised his hand. "When will you stop using fire?" Vulcan then stated, "I don't understand the question."
He's treating them all as equals on the barbecue. Well, that's the thing. everyone talks about how good of a boy Vulcan was. And the thing is, like, yeah, Vulcan is a very caring, beautiful individual. As long as you're a human.
Yeah, as long as you're a human, you're fine. Even then, that's tenuous. You have to be a loyalist human.
True.
Because the second that you go traitor, you're about to experience what Nom experienced.
Well, there's a very classic saying I can say that applies very well to the salamanders. So there's 3 things that every wise man fears. It is a storm out on the sea, a cloudless night without a moon, and the wrath of a kind man. That's Vulcan. Vulcan is the broiest bro who wants to just hug you and make sure you're okay. But if you take his lunch money, he's taking your life, and that's how it works.
What's a fucking take? The funniest thing I think Vulcan has ever done in the lore of the Horus Heresy.
No, Shadow summed it up
It's
pretty
like
good.
that weird uncle you have to deal with, but with a flamethrower.
He's really friendly, and he wants to bounce you on his knee, but he's really into making sure that the family bonfire goes off every year.
My favorite... Okay, so... the thing that we found out with the Horus Heresy is anything to do with salamanders, as long as they aren't side characters, is boring as shit.
Yeah. Same with Dark Angels. I'll admit it. I tried getting into Dark Angels. They're boring as fuck.
Oof.
Look, I know people who are really into Dark Angels, and I'll admit, their aesthetic, their models, how they look, fantastic.
But take your in-the-closet problem somewhere else.
Oh god, it's not even that. They're just so fucking dry that the adamant will read anything 40k to find its worth, kept zoning out and couldn't even pay attention for 5 minutes of their audiobook.
Angels of Caliban was good, but that was only good when Lionel was fighting Conrad or dealing with Gulliman. Anything else to do with the Fallen was boring.
Yeah, I think... The one I read was post-heresy on top of that.
Ooh!
Like, pre-heresy, they've got some redeeming stuff. I love reading the story between Russ and Lionel Johnson, when Lionel Johnson was pretty much like, I can get you fucking oofed like the last 2 Primarchs, but I'm not a fucking idiot. Take care of yourself, brother.
But yeah, the best story when it came to Vulcan was when he was a prisoner aboard Conrad Kurtz's ship. And so, Vulcan is immortal. He is a perpetual, i.e., no matter how many times you kill him, this fucker will just regenerate and get back up. And Conrad, at this point, has had his wits' end about it. He has slit his brother's throat, teared his heart out, eviscerated him, shoved him in a meat locker, thrown him into space, thrown him into the sun.
Each Primarch is a representation of a singular feature of the Emperor. Conrad is the Emperor's need for justice, but without empathy or love. He is one of the most
Context
vile,
doesn't matter.
disgusting creatures out there. There was a point, he can see the future, kind of like Sanguinius.
Oh, his is worse.
His is worse. I'm getting into this. This is how I sum up Conrad and the kind of man that Conrad is. So, he comes from basically space Alcatraz, but everyone's Russian. Tell me I'm wrong.
I would have said Gotham, but on steroids.
So you mean Alcatraz?
I mean, fair.
So, basically it's an entire planet where everyone's on Alcatraz, but they're Russian. And the thing is that
I thought
he's
they were also
justice
like
incarnate.
Sylvanian or whatever. They give him like a
Let's
Sylvanian
be
accent.
honest. If you don't understand Eastern European politics, everyone just assumes that you're Russian.
That's fair.
Like, the Eastern European accent takes up most of Europe, but everyone hears it and goes, ah, Russian. It's like, no, it's not.
Here comes from the gulags.
What's this? He comes from the gulags from Pinhead's realm. Yeah,
Yeah?
he comes from the gulag if it was run by Pinhead. Pretty straightforward.
It's pretty fucked up.
So the other Primarchs, they end up on worlds, they get to grow up. Nah, he exits fetus stage in like 2 days and kills a guy and eats him because he saw him raping a woman, and that's pretty much Conrad.
No, also had to dig himself out of a city.
Ah, yeah, that too.
Because they because his pod landed like fucking Superman did, leveled a city, and instead of going to figure out what the fuck did that, they said, that's a bad omen. We're fucked up, but that's fucked up more than us. Bury it under a city.
So, he had a bad start. Now, there's a point where he's on Nostromo and he's in control. Nostromo being his planet.
His force difficulty mode was hard mode.
This motherfucker started on.
Wait,
like,
what's
the like hardest one in Doom where it's basically like
No, I was
write us
gonna
a letter and cry?
I was gonna say like fucking what was the like the criminal class in Elden Ring? The
prisoner.
The disgraced or whatever, the prisoner.
Oh, I mean, there's the wretch.
Oh yeah, the
which
wretch.
is what I play. But yeah, so he's had a bad start. He's had a bad time. Now, this is the turning point for Conrad. When Conrad actually has the potential to become one of the more wholesome Primarchs. If you know anything about the Night Lords, you would have never guessed because it's the fucking Night Lords. Like, they wore human skin as a fashion statement before they became traitors. They thought that mounting Granny's skull on your taint was acceptable before they became the bad guys. Think that one over for a moment.
And no, this is after they had Conrad.
Yeah.
Before they were the restrained torture tool.
So, Conrad, as I've stated, can see the future, but only in like short glimpses, flashes. But the thing is, he normally gets 2 visions in one, and then has to try and figure out which one's the real one, which gives him a huge issue with paranoia and a bunch of other crap. So, he's going to go deal with this one guy because he left Nostromo for a while, and basically they're like, oh, thank God that fuckhead's gone. Let's just go back to normal crime, because, like, that guy scares me. So they go back to normal crime, and, Conrad basically, everyone's chilling when he just kind of like,
I heard you were doing crime again. Where's your firstborn? I want their scrote.
What the scrote? That's a fucking word.
so he comes back, and one of the main kind of like rebel-y guys, he gets a flash about him. And in his vision, he sees 2 separate things. In one, he goes to the young man and notices that the young man has all of his weapons set aside. Even though he realizes that, as I've stated, he's probably there for his scrote, he's gonna give him the benefit of a doubt and try and talk to him like a human being. This happens because Conrad's never really had this happen before. He gives the boy a chance. And so they talk, and they grow, and this guy actually ends up to become the first captain of the Night Lords. And under this first captain's tutelage and watch, they become a very just and upright society. They realize that they were only resorting to crime because they had to, but they can do so much better because they have teamwork. They know how to get through adversity. They have a lot of things which can be turned for the better. And all Conrad has to do is go and talk to him and not kill him.
Hey,
And
Captain, why is there a corpse on your hand?
And the future of his legion becomes possibly the brightest out there.
Captain, why is there a dead man on your hand?
In the other vision he gets, he sees the young man and believes him to be unarmed. At which point, when he gets close to the young man stabs him in the neck and is able to make a retreat, becoming the first person to wound the Night Haunter. And if you can wound the Night Haunter, you can kill the Night Haunter. This shows Conrad's ideology right then and there. He's not willing to take the chance. If he can be overthrown, he has to kill this man. So he goes, he barges in, and he mercilessly slaughters this guy only to look to the left and realize that all of his weapons and armor were put in a pile.
Sir, why is there a corpse on your hands?
He is the sole reason his legion will never be fulfilled, and he is the only person that knows.
Isn't it great? So yeah, anyway, the best moment is that at this point, Conrad is at his wit's end with the antithesis to his philosophy, Vulcan.
I love Vulcan.
Because Vulcan believes that there is good in everybody and that you have to give them a chance. Conrad believes in the opposite, that man is scum and deserves to be eviscerated. And no matter what Conrad does, Vulcan will not break. So eventually, Conrad gets fucking sick of it. He commissions Perturabo to build an endless maze that he can just throw Vulcan into and never have to think about him again. Yeah, no, so 2 years pass, this thing is built, Vulcan is thrown into it head first, and Conrad says, "In the center of this fucking labyrinth, you piece of shit, is your Warhammer with a personal teleporter. You can take it and fucking leave if you can get to the center of this maze, bitch. But don't worry, Vulcan, you're not in there alone. There's monstrosities and terrors left and right. You'll never find your way out," is what he's thinking. Vulcan takes a look around his surroundings for a bit, realizes north is in that direction, and just continues to pummel his way to the center. He breaks down walls like the Kool-Aid Man. And he just continues to break walls till he gets to the center of the maze. And Conrad's like, "Motherfucker!" Gets off his chair, goes after him, and just proceeds to land in front of him in the middle of the maze and goes, "You cheated, motherfucker! I'm gonna drag you back with my hooked claws, and I'm gonna make you go through all this all over again, you cheating fuck!" Not realizing that Conrad is a scrawny bitch, and has never been a man of toe-to-toe, face-to-face fighting, whereas he just gave Vulcan a fucking hammer. And Vulcan, now holding the hammer, looks at Conrad and goes, "Nah, bitch, I'm about to show you what 2 years of torture does to a man." And proceeds to beat the ever-living fuck out of him. In the funniest comedy routine I've ever seen. Or read. I haven't seen it because you had to read it in text. But it's really funny watching Conrad get dragged back into the middle of the maze and get his fucking head smashed in with a hammer repeatedly until Vulcan gets bored and teleports away. Because characters can never confirm the kill. Woo! Yay, I hate my life. Why is there just a fucking cardboard thing here? You want to talk about grip strength? This man makes Quagmire in that one episode of Family Guy to shame.
I am an iron hand. Let's see if I can compress the entire thing with my hand. I'm gonna
Probably
do it.
can, it's cardboard.
I know, but let me have this moment and think that it's special for some reason. Here you go. On the house, don't spend it all in one place.
What was that package, by the way?
Which package?
Oh, where's my package?
It's on the table. So he is a macaque. He's a masseuse like boss. A what? I don't trust your fucking spelling.
I put it on stream, but we don't have the adhesive.
I thought it was a book.
Oh, is this the book? It's one of 3 things.
Was it a Warhammer product? Because that's not
It-
the right box for a Warhammer product.
It might be my limited edition guard codex.
It might be. Oh, a masochist.
Who? I mean,
Apparently I'm a masochist.
that's just 40K. Yeah,
Yeah!
Let's go!
Let's go!
New Guard Codex, let's fucking go! Yeah, baby!
Guys, they got Zap Brannigan.
Yeah. He's really good, but I'm probably just using Ursula.
Ursula is best girl.
She's so good.
So
Yo, you
What
gave
is
me
it?
the data cards too!
that girl looks like she's gonna lick the chainsword.
Hot. Can I see? Oh, fuck, yeah. I mean, yes, it does appear as though she would lick the blood off of her enemies.
Something that's like pissed off all of like that part of the 40k community is that Ursula is a woman and that she got the title of Lord the Castellan of Acadia without earning it, and we're like, how about you read her fucking book, where her book is basically like
Her book is basically everyone continuously shitting on her until they have to admit she's as good as her father.
and even then they shit on her father too.
Dude, single-handedly keeps the entirety of Chaos at bay for 13 fucking years as just like basically me wearing cardboard armor with a flashlight.
He's also a stubby motherfucker.
He was a short king.
He's a short king.
Single-handedly holds off 13 fucking crusades from the Grand Master of Chaos himself. Loses one time. Instantaneous failure throughout the Imperium. Shit on Creed. That doesn't sit well with me because it doesn't happen to anyone besides Creed.
No,
Everyone
actually,
else
it
would be
happens
like,
to a few people.
He died a hero.
It happens to a few people in 40k, and that's the problem with fascism, is that the second you fail a fascist empire, your entire credit is destroyed.
Oh man, just like the Desert Fox himself. Although he tried to kill Hitler, so... That's a fun one. I'm sad I don't get to talk to history. I should just bomb in on here and be like, it's history time with Uncle Brody. That's a fun one. Desert Fox is an interesting story. But we're on neo-fascism, not the good old-fashioned kind. You know?
The what?
Just because it's good old-fashioned doesn't mean it was good. It just means that it was the old version of it.
Oh! My god! Okay.
I can make spicy jokes. Look, I think in the year of our Lord 2023, we can all agree Nazi bad.
Nazi bad. Yeah, so fucking her whole entire story is that, like, she has to, like, regroup the Cadians, and the Cadians are like, why should we trust you? Greed failed us! And she's like,
Do I
Oh,
have
my
balls? I'm sorry, ma'am. Do I have balls? You do not, ma'am. Then I am not Creed. I am Creed. That pussy poppin'. Let's go, ma'am.
But yeah, like, her whole story is just her, like, proving that she is not her father, and that she is her own individual and everything. And then the Cadians are like, 3 cheers for Scooby!
Cadia stands.
Cadia stands, you fucking primp!
I love that they made that an actual stratagem for Cadians.
Cadia stands are like they get to reroll all hit rolls against Chaos.
So it's dope as fuck. It's reroll 1s against Chaos, reroll all failures to hit against Black Legion.
When the Blood Angels lose their hatred for fucking Black Legion.
That's a good point. If anyone should be pissed off at the
Well,
Wolves,
when it came to
aka
old
Black
Abaddon,
Legion.
when it came to like old Abaddon, all Blood Angels got hatred because of the Talon Force.
Checks out.
Back then,
anything's gonna set off the red thirst.
I
in
really
some
enjoy
Black
history. I
Legion.
got into an argument with someone that said 1940 Germany was anti-colonialism.
Yo, thank you for people. Okay, no, this is a legitimate argument. People are like, well, but they wanted to promote just German culture and heritage throughout everywhere they conquered. It wasn't proper colonialism, and I'm just like, do you fucking hear yourself? That is colonialism.
They invaded someone else's territory with the sole strategy of conquer and absorb into us. What the fuck do you mean they were anti-colonialism?
Oh, even better. It's based on the argument that colonialism was used primarily as a tool to educate and uplift underdeveloped societies.
Ah, yes. I believe the term was kill the Indian, save the man. I believe that was the term they used.
Or my favorite is prima nocta. If we can't kill them off, we'll breed them out. Mind you, this is a long time before most people consider slavery, but as a man of Scottish heritage, I don't discredit the time and era where they didn't know that Africa existed and there was a bunch of pale guys to the left. I'm not gonna act like Scotland and Ireland wasn't one of the main slave hubs.
That was
And the Greeks. Oh, the Greeks.
The Greeks ruled the world, and then they got the pretty raw end of the fucking deal for a little bit there.
I mean, that's usually how history works. You rule the world for a little while, then you're not so hot, and everyone that remembered you ruling them decides that they want a piece of your ass. And that's world history, and it's cyclical.
When did we go from 40K to this?
This is how conversations between you and me go.
I mean, fair. Oh my god,
Oh, my phone's dead.
Modern Nazis are boring.
Dude, they are! They're not even creative!
They
Like,
just...
okay, don't get me wrong. It was fucked up. But at least it was like, we gotta stop this motherfucker. He's sewing people into chairs. Now it's just like, oh yeah, Frank down the road thinks that he gets to stomp in Alex's face because he's slightly more brown than Frank. It's like...
What?
It's not even interesting. It's just boring and
Right,
dumb.
yeah. White isn't even white, it's beige. And beige is like a lighter brown.
Oh, God.
We're all just different colors of brown.
Look, if you allow racism to take root, it'll find some reason to hate someone else. Remember that the Hutus and the Tutsis existed because one group had a slightly more rounded nose than the other, and the whites went, ah, yes, you with the pointy nose, you're in charge.
Racism is stupid, kids.
Racism is purely bound in a lack of logic. Racism dumb. Accept people as individuals and understand that if you try to categorize anyone, you're probably missing the mark. Thank you, Shadow. Yes, racism is literally the stupidest shit ever. It is a lack of logical... It's literally a lack of logic. It is literally just being like, my mama told me that Frank down the road was dangerous, and even though he helped fix my car 4 times and towed me home, I don't like the way his color looks because I bought the premium DLC. It's that dumb! It is literally that dumb!
You see that man over there? Yeah, we fucking hate him. Why? He was born on the other side of the fence.
Mm-hmm. Dude, and
what did the fence do?
Well, and here's the thing. We live in North America, so, like, when we think of racism, we automatically jump to skin tone, but, like, holy fuck, as a man who's looked into the Balkans, it's just, if you let racism happen, it will find a reason to hate someone.
Yeah, it's literally just unrestrained hate.
Yeah. Without any logical understanding of said race. This is a fun... What were we talking about? Conrad Curse?
I talked about how fucking Conrad Curse got, like, Looney Tunes shit stomped into the fucking ground after he put fucking Vulcan in a fucking maze where Vulcan had to punch his way, like, basically looked around for a bit, went, that direction is north, and punched his way like the Kool-Aid Man through the maze.
Because he's fucking Vulcan.
And then Conrad's like, I'm gonna drag you back with meat hooks.
Because
and Vulcan's
cheated.
like, I have hammer now. And
I think you failed to notice something, Conrad. In the 2 years of torturing me, I was bound and restricted to a slab of metal. You are now standing in front of me, I have no chains, and I have a fucking hammer. Did you really think that one through, genius?
Listen, Conrad, you're a good 6 foot outside the armor, a good 8 feet in the armor. I am a good 12 feet on you outside the armor.
No, I got this. I got this. You be Conrad. I got this.
I'm gonna drag you back with meat hooks!
I have a hammer. and you were wearing metal, it would be very easy to reconstruct it back into a coffin.
I am autistic as fuck, and I legit have tried finding a reason because I made the mistake of having a friend who was a narcissist as fuck. And was trying to explain using logic as to why Nazis, racism, and other things are bad all the way.
Yeah, as a man who has extensively researched and looked into the world wars, the one thing you find out when you become based enough to look at it without rose-colored glasses, everyone was a fucking atrocious whore through the world wars. It's just one side won and got to sweep their shit under the rug. People, when pushed to the edge, will do horrible things. It's just sometimes we need to understand that when horrible things need to be done, that hopefully it's for a good fucking reason. Thank you for reality time with Brody.
You can't fix stupid, just let them die in the drool.
Yeah. I had a really good saying when I used to work in what's the term for it? Basically construction, but for the average person. So not like actual construction
Carpentry?
companies. No. I'll dumb it down. I worked at a hardware store, and you run into a bunch of people who think that they know what they're doing, but probably just read a single article and thought themselves a carpenter. This made me figure out a saying that I use now. The man is so dumb he would drown if he tripped into a puddle.
Are you saying he's so shallow that your shoes wouldn't even get wet if you stepped in them?
No, I've got one story to explain why most people shouldn't DIY their homes, let alone when it comes to electrical. Electrical is basically just a...
Try using duct tape as lube.
I wish. That would make more sense. So,
That would make more sense.
Sparing all of you a lot of dumb jargon that means nothing to your average lives about electrical work, and I don't think I'll have to explain it for you to get this. I'm working at said hardware store.
Lowe's. I'm not sponsored by them. You can say their fucking name.
Neither am I, but I'm trying to be respectful. Because actually it was one of the better jobs I had, just that specific section was shit. So, guy comes in. He wants to put an outlet into his shower. Now, this is my job, so I can't look him dead in the face and say, "Sir, do you have a mental affliction? Are you on AISH or something I should know? Is there someone that should be accompanying you right now?
Or do you have Death Wish?
Because you want to put an outlet in a shower."
Have you watched the movie Final Destination?
So, doing my best retail of like, well, you see, sir, I don't think you should put an outlet in a shower. There's a lot of dangers. It's very likely that you'll electrocute yourself. And I'm trying to be reasonable with him. So you're me trying to explain things. The man literally puts his hand that close to my face and says, "Listen here, kid. Listen here. Listen here. I know a lot about electricity. And it can't get wet if it's plugged in."
I believe several toasters have a fucking... several toasters along with several pieces of soggy toast have words to say.
Which one is it?
Is this
one? Yeah. It can't get wet if it's plugged in. So, because I'm at work and I can't just say, "Leave my fucking store, dumbass," I go, "Okay, but like, have you considered mist or anything else? Like,
Condensation.
there's a lot of things that occur when you do this." "No. You've plugged something into a wall. I've plugged something into a wall. I'm sure Mr. Announcer has plugged something into a wall. This motherfucker was asking for an outlet." And then he looks me dead ass in the face and says, "Look, I just need the outlet. I don't care about what you have to say. Is this an outlet? And he goes over, and he starts dead ass. Where's? And he starts dead ass flicking a light switch. And then he goes over to a toggle switch for a light and says, "Is this an outlet? Is this an outlet? Is that an outlet?" He goes to an inlet and asks, "Is this an outlet?" And I'm just kind of looking at him stunned because I'm like,
I think the
what do
man
you
was
even
having a.
say
I
to
think
someone like that?
I think he was just having a seizure in front of you.
Possibly. But it's just like, what do you even say to an individual like that? So I just looked him in the face and said, "Sir, I am currently the only electrical representative in this store. I have no way of helping you, and nor would anyone else. You are welcome to go to Home Hardware or IKEA across the way. We are unable to help you."
The politest way of telling someone to fuck off.
It's basically saying you're a dumbass and you'll get yourself killed and I'm not taking responsibility to leave the fucking store.
Is that the guy who trashed the store when he left, or was that someone else?
That was someone else.
Okay. I swear that incident would have been a whole ass helmet required joke.
Oh, dude. But it's Lowe's, and the thing is, everyone that works at Lowe's is dead on the inside and doesn't give a fuck. My favorite example of this was the time that someone returned a fan and all they put was rocks into the box, and the person working returns didn't even check, shook the box and said, "That checks out," and gave them the refund, only to find out 2 hours later it was just rocks in the box. That's how little they care at Lowe's.
I mean, we're so the service industry is so fucking disgruntled at this point.
No. It's because yeah, it's long enough. I'm not on contract. I'm allowed to talk about things. It is so horribly set up. You're basically not allowed to have pride in your job. If you see someone shoplifting, you're actually supposed to help them. Pretty much.
Insurance.
But then it gets fun. Because even though they're like, somebody's robbing, basically give it to them. Help them out of the store. Suck their dick. Then
Remember, children.
But this is where it gets funny because it's an American company. Their training video for if someone's so, if it's shoplifting, if they're stealing. The long story.
Okay.
So, if they're shoplifting, if they're stealing, give it to them. Let them leave. Do not stop them. Now, if an armed gunman comes into Lowe's,
Oh God.
legally everyone in the store is allowed to kill them. So they tell you to. They dead ass say if you cannot run and you cannot hide, plan an ambush and make sure that they're dead. And that is the armed gunman training at Lowe's. The end of the video is a dude with a fucking 12 gauge Remington shotgun walking around a Lowe's, and these two motherfuckers jumping over a corner with a can of paint and a hammer and doing him in. And that's the training video. What the fuck even was Lowe's?
You think Lowe's training video is so intimidating to shooters that like they only choose Walmart because it's a soft target?
Okay. We had a plan to weaponize the forklifts and not how you thought.
I'm thinking like you guys do what we did in Halo and just put metal and shit on it and make like a fucking.
You're getting close, but no. The plan was for everyone to run down to the wood section because we had all of the concrete there, and concrete bags are effectively military sandbags.
Oh no.
So everyone could hide behind the sandbags, and then we knew how to rig the display nail guns so that you could just fire them.
Oh no.
So they were gonna hide there behind the sandbags and wait for the gunmen to come by so they could all pop out and just empty like 40 nails the size of like that into his body. And then basically on the intercom, the idea was to lock all the doors, go on the intercom and say, "You are now being hunted. Prepare to the best of your abilities. We all work minimum wage and are pent up with wrath." At which point then, you would just hear sirens and bullhorns and we would take the 3 forklifts and basically Mario Double Dash with said nail guns around the store looking for them. And if the forklift couldn't impale you, the nail guns were gonna shoot you. And that was the plan for active gunmen.
This was an elaborate
at
scheme.
Lowe's. Dude, everyone worked minimum wage and did like executive CEO levels of work. I blueprinted a house for someone on minimum wage, and that's working at Lowe's. Down to the screws.
What?
Why do you think Maluk wants to commit manslaughter now? He's working for Home Hardware. It's even worse.
Oh my god!
Trust me, if you ever want to just kill yourself, go work at a hardware store. You have all the tools, and you will gain the will to want to.
Listen, you either deal with fucks that want to put outlets in showers, or fucks like Ben Shapiro who think they're so tough and cool that buying a plank of wood makes them look cool.
Oh god, you're not even lying. The amount of people that came in and asked for redwood, and I'm like, you realize that's an endangered species, right? We can't just fucking cut down an endangered species and send it to your house. Why not? I'm a paying customer. You're gonna be a paying jail. You're gonna be in jail if you do this. And I will gladly report you, because I'm an environmentalist fuckhead. So I'll order you the redwood from wherever you found it, and I'm going to tell the police.
Fuck! I'll break up a tree-killing crime ring. Let's do it.
Thank you! No, Shadow
Or
called
you
it.
deal with the fuckheads who have no clue what a mower versus a mulcher is.
I had
What?
someone... Okay, so...
How? What?
Yeah, it's true. It happened to me. I had someone come in, and they were asking for a lawnmower, and we went through the entire selection of lawnmowers, only for them to say, I don't really think you're listening to me, it's right over there, and went to a fucking mulcher! It's like, I don't know, man. You can mow your grass by tearing up your entire lawn. That's your choice. It just sounds pretty fucking dumb to me.
You can mow your lawn by ripping up your lawn. Oh god.
Yep. Oh god, the guy who was in our store for 4 hours only to question everything that came out of our mouth. The man, it's not rocket science. This door, the single most common door in existence, he wanted that door. It's not rocket science. You buy the little handle that comes with it, and you buy the door for like $80. That's it. It's like a $90 door.
Fuck, a door in this economy? Are you kidding?
Pretty much. It's nothing much. It's not crazy. It's pretty entry level. We were with the men for 4 hours. And at one point...
In my day, they didn't buy doors, they stole them from their children.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, you don't need this door, do you? What is privacy, child? You are my property.
I'm
not
respecting
saying I
your
relate.
privacy by knocking, but asserting my authority as your parent by stealing it anyway.
Timmy, I'm respecting your boundaries as a parent. But I'm exercising my authority by breaking it anyways.
You hit your book, I hope it's okay.
Huh?
You hit your book, you hope it's okay.
It's fine. Oh, what time is it though? Because that's a good question. I was just kidding.
7:37.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought. I'll call the cab.
Oh my god, you have earned my whole respect for bringing that trauma up.
That's the least of my trauma. That's just what I can talk about on stream. Trust me. A guy came into the store and got mad at me for not telling him how to build a bomb.
Ha!
When someone comes up to you and starts asking about armored cables and underground wiring and how to hook a timer up to a water boiler, you know they're making a bomb. There's nothing else you're doing when you are hooking armored cables and a timer up to the most pressurized system that a human being has in their house. He was making a bomb.
Slight recoil, everybody.
This is why I'm the way I am. That's just an average human interaction for me.
This is why he has the name Slight Recoil in the server, because he's just our boy here is a fucking creature.
Oh god. No, that one hits home.
Oh my god, the fuck
I've never had anyone try to order industrial nitroglycerin through me.
What?
But I have had someone try to order industrial quantity, what's it called? Literally the acid from Breaking Bad that they use to melt bodies. Hydrochloric acid, because we do sell industrial strength, but in bottles like the size of my arm. This motherfucker wanted to buy a vat of it. And he specifically said a vat.
Was he on the news the next day?
He didn't use pounds, ounces.
He didn't even go to the imperial system.
The motherfucker didn't even use what's the measurement from could? Like
I don't know.
a dram. He didn't even use a dram of liquid. This motherfucker walked up and said, "I would like to purchase a vat of hydrochloric acid." Who does this? And then you try and tell your supervisor, and then he's just sitting in the back, jacking off and smoking, going like, "Yeah, first day, eh?"
I don't think you should be doing that on my stream.
Dude, they had their own office. I'm not saying I caught them. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me.
Everything that goes on in the manager's office stays in the manager's office.
Okay.
Don't worry, he didn't show nipple. I think it's fine. Do not! This is a family channel!
Yeah, but I'm a man, therefore it's legal.
Oh no. Actually, it's not on Twitch.
Well, at least they're giving some kind of common grounds there.
Someone who's going to do a murder. I don't know how to follow any of this up. He barged in. This has been like the Brody and announcer of Games Power Hour, and I'm like, fuck. How do I follow this up? Like, this just might be the end of the stream as soon as this fucker leaves. I wasn't expecting this. This was not planned. I just knew he was coming, and I was talking about Warhammer.
He was just... I heard Belisarius call and Saint Celestine and broke down the door because I love both of them. And then this happened.
Stop giving bad ideas, and you are not a family channel. You are a family man. I don't even have a kid!
You don't need a child to be a family man. Give me the child. He's gonna say that straight to her face.
Say that to her face.
Oh.
Tell me you don't have a child. Tell me right now that you don't have a child and this creature is unloved, and I'll let you continue to say what you previously said. Tell me you do not have a child, and that you hate Sarah.
She's my pet.
She is a baby.
She is the furriest baby.
She is a fur baby and your daughter, and you will accept her as such.
Can I hold my baby, please?
Not until I'm sure that you love her.
I do love her. I gave her a fucking throne, for God's sakes.
Wait, that's true. You gave her your chair.
Yeah.
Where's my chair?
Out in the kitchen. I didn't know you were gonna barge in.
So good.
I have my
Here's your cat.
Thank you. Hello.
Okay.
Oh, did we scare you?
Oh, no, she's fine.
You held her right up to my face.
Just gotta make sure you love your cat, man. It's just,
Oh, sweet baby, I'm sorry.
Oh, speaking
The
of
child is the tier 2 sub to Family Man.
Yeah.
Okay, squeaky baby, time to go.
Okay, I'll put $15 down on my phone being dead. I lose to myself because it's at 1 and I need to call the cab.
Switch chargers outside. Okay, so I have no way to follow this up. Please subscribe on Patreon. I am poor. Subscribing on the Patreon gets you videos early before they're uploaded to YouTube. Gets you updates with how the video process is going, and just some stuff, including helping me. If you go to the next tier, you get a free sticker along with it. Please donate to the stream directly as well. I don't know how to follow this up. I feel like I need to ask him to come over more now, and that is sad.
Father, where are my stickers? I was promised at least 2.
Well, this current sticker that I think is on there.
Because Patreon is stupid.
I think the current picture that's on there is, I think it was, which one was it? I think it was this one.
That's
Yes,
a good sticker.
that's a good sticker.
That's a good sticker.
It's the memories, it's the sins of my past haunting me.
Everyone who's dead.
Yep.
So,
I love that everyone pitched in to keep my boy alive, though. I do appreciate that, chat.
this is also the fucker that said, like, he is so pristine we could sell his organs on the black market.
I did say such a thing. I believe my exact wording was, what was it? You asked what you meant. when you
I
said-
literally, so I'm going to explain how I say, I'm going to explain this.
Yeah.
We are playing D&D.
Mhm.
I leave the room to go to the bathroom. I come back 5 minutes later to hear this. No! William's organs would be the best organs to sell on the market. I then come into the
Now.
room and go, what?
Now, the reason for this being, our boy is the only person in the whole room who has never done drugs, not even a little bit of the devil's giggle cabbage. He has never drank. Doesn't really get into the candy or sweets, like eventually, but not really. Don't go out of his way. Enjoys the occasional slushie. The man doesn't get into sweets. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't drink. He walks, which means that he actually takes more care of his own body than the average person does. He went for a run last night. I'm just saying, out of all of us, especially myself, who has rat-bagged my body so bad that the doctors tell me I have a 40-year-old's body, and I'm not even pushing 30. We're taking his organs if we have to take organs. It's that simple.
His liver will regenerate the fastest.
It's true. I'm not even entirely sure mine's still there.
As I sit here, he's like fucking prostituting my body.
Who wants to buy a kidney? He only needs one.
Oh yeah, and I'm also O
Yo,
negative.
Max tier subscriber benefit. You get his kidney. It takes $20,000 worth of subscriptions, but you get his kidney.
Holy fuck. I'm gonna clip this and send this to Max. Holy shit. Ah! But yeah,
I'm sorry, all I read was $20 is $20 a month.
we will get there eventually. Holy shit. So, this is Slight Recoil.
What to do?
He is one of my best friends.
I've known
Also
this.
one of mine.
Yeah. Known both of these peeps for a long time. This boy even more, though. He got me into 40K.
Hi.
Oh, okay. It was my old roommate. They got me to read the book, but we did the, like, what was it, Dark Heresy? And that's what got
Yeah.
me sold on 40K.
Oh yeah, he made a character that we all regret. He made a character we all regret.
One day, I'd be willing to tell this story. Because
Yeah.
It would have to be on an 18+ stream.
Yo.
it would be an 18+ stream, and it is as vile and disgusting as you would expect from a Slaneshi cultist, but it has possibly one of the single most wholesome endings in 40K, which you don't expect from a Slaneshi cultist. Maybe set like a goal, and I'll go over some of my Dark Heresy characters, and we'll just do a story time with Uncle Recoil.
Tell you what, well, you see that bar up there, kids? Get that up to full and we can do it.
Yeah, story time with Uncle Recoil, and I'll tell you the story of Jack Orf. Yes.
I thought you were Jack Orf.
I get. No.
Were
I
you
was,
on or
no,
off?
No. I was. Was I Jack Orn or Orf? I was Jack Orf, and because Lucas couldn't come
Yeah.
up with a better one, he went with Jack Orn.
Yeah.
Because my whole joke was that my name was Jack Off. I did say Slanesh. I was a Slaneshi cultist.
You wish he was fucking Jack the Ripper.
I have a
It was
long
more
picture
Jack the
somewhere.
Stripper.
Huh?
I have
Fair.
I have reps.
Eh.
I'm physically hyperventilating from laughing too
Yeah,
much.
Jack the Stripper.
Remember
One
to
for
breathe, kids!
one. I'll give you a small snippet to work you up towards that goal. His brother was playing a corrupted blood angel, and because of what I did, his blood angel tried to kill me by crushing my skull with his hand.
Crit fail.
But he crit failed, and I crit succeeded. So basically, all he succeeded in doing was autoerotic asphyxiation, at which point my Slaneshi then clamped onto his arm and started humping. If
You
you
can
want the
stop
full
now.
story, you can get that bar all the way up. It's a ride. And it ends with him having an entire family of a couple thousand cultists that he loves dearly. And there's a little nurgly boy who fixes the mechanics of their ship. And he just goes around. His name is Bubba. He goes, bing! And he just hits the pipes and asks them to work nicely, and they do, because Nurgle. Like, it's a beautiful story. Family from sticking it to anything. Yeah. Yeah. It goes, it's your typical Disney special where man with no values becomes family man and loves all.
Sure.
Hey, Jack actually ended up as a family man in the end.
What type of family? Did he eat
They're
families?
chaos cultists, but
So
it,
he ate families.
he didn't eat them.
Oh, he ate a kid.
He didn't eat a kid.
He ate a dead kid.
He did not eat a dead kid.
He ate a dead
He
kid.
didn't eat the kid.
What did he do to it?
We can't tell you.
We can't tell anyone until the stream.
It is
Make the bar
spoilers.
go full so we can hear this. I'm just a peanut gallery over here where you can't see me.
Yeah. Did
How
they
did they
corrupt a
corrupt-
blood? How do they corrupt a blood angel? Corruption
Oh.
happens, dude.
Corruption happens. Like, there's an entire, basically, sub-chapter of Space Wolves which are devoted to Khorne. And they're called the Blood Wolves. Shit happens.
Shit happens when you touch the bad blood, dude.
Also, it's pretty easy to corrupt a Blood Angel. Be a demon of Khorne and tell them you're sanguineous. Go from there. It's about that simple.
Oof. I have
What?
the omnibus.
Yeah, exactly. And tell me I'm wrong.
It was a demon of Zinj, but it still works.
Yeah, but you can't tell me that Cabanda's not just gonna be like, huh, yeah, that checks out, and do it to him as a shit and giggle too.
Remember, shit has hit the fan horribly when you were sticking it to the wrong orifice.
Or it went the right way and you're just experimenting with someone you trust. My Slaneshi's showing.
Consent is important, folks.
Slanesh is not a matter of if, but when.
I'm not saying the line that came into my brain.
Can we all move to the Discord and hear the story? No.
Once you pay for that goal,
Pay
I'll
for
give
the
you
goal.
story time. Oh, dude, we can even talk about the Iron Warrior I played that was so hardcore. Everyone was just like, mm-mm. Like, what? Were we on a Luna Wolves ship or a World Eater ship? And they're just like, no, we're just doing what that guy says. He scares us.
That would be the Luna Wolf ship because you guys were the personal agents of Malakhurst.
Yeah, and I did some shit.
Oh, you
Dude,
and
okay.
the two others did.
The head faction in control of the Horus Heresy had to deal with my Iron Warrior and went, you scare us. Chill, please. And then I did a thing and they went, Jesus Christ, just ask what you want and please leave. Please, we're crying. And those are the arch traitors, so my man had no chill.
It doesn't help that you had like this little fucking femboy tech priest stare at them and say, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way,"
And
as
then-
the tentacles come up.
Well, he said we can do this the easy way or the hard way. He poked a man in the brain, took control of said man, and then pointed at me, headbutting a fellow space marine into a paste on the ground, and everyone went just easy way, sir. We're gonna take the easy way.
You serve chaos or you don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, you serve the War Master or you don't. There's
Well, and the worst part was I was playing an Iron Warrior who got indoctrinated after the sacking of Olympia.
Oof.
So this was a guy who lived through his own legion, burning, torturing, and pillaging his own planet and taking anyone as slaves. And he was one of said slaves. They just went, he's good at fighting. He's an Iron Warrior now.
Why me? Why the fuck would I be fucking the butt man?
We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. The choice is yours.
I call you Chris Haynes.
I call you Chris Handsome.
Alright. I'm gonna call the cab.
Okay. So yeah, get the bar up there, and we can do an adult stream where we talk about the characters of Slight Recoil and the absolute nightmares I continue to live with as I contemplate the sanity of all of my friends.
We can do Jack Orth. We can talk about my sorcerer, and we can do the story, the adventures of Bitch and Pussy.
What about Bugman?
Bugman too. Bugman's good.
Oh yeah, and Bugman. I forgot about Bugman.
Okay, but anyway, I'm gonna call it here for the end of the stream. Please tune in tomorrow. We are talking to AdMech Girl.
Woohoo! I'm excited.
It will not be as unhinged as this.
Did somebody say unhinged?
Takes door off of hinges.
You know, that's actually exactly what I was thinking, but I'm like, there's no way to do this.
Why do you
without
two
breaking the
think
door.
so alike?
That's why I got them hired at my old job.
Fuck! I hope it's not this unhinged. No, it shouldn't be. We're gonna be talking about the Warhammer community and everything. Say goodbye, Slight Recoil.
It can be that unhinged if you want it to be.
No. Please no. Anyway, you all have a wonderful night, and he knows when I stream. He knows when I'm working. He can just barge in. He knows the access to my door. I'm scared that he'll just come in through the window one day.
Oh, dude, now I
Hopefully not
have
the
to
one
come
that
in
doesn't
through the
open.
window. Now that's a challenge. I have to come
You're
in.
paying for that.
I have to
repair.
come in through the window that doesn't open now. It's non-negotiable. You've challenged me.
You know what? Shadow, for $100, he will do the Nostalgia Critic rant, and I will pay him half of that $100.
Yeah, I'd do it for $50. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream. Bad Batch Season 2 came out. I wanna go watch that now. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Don't die.
Or die. I mean, death comes for all, and we really can't stop
Please,
it.
I would like my